Bad girls make them say wow. Wow. Wow.
M and J are here to say chores ain't gonna go away. Dishes pile and laundry stinks. Pick up your mess, you little minx. If the house is clean and bright, clap your hands with all your might. Little hands and big ones too, working together, a happy crew. Welcome back to the M and J's World Podcast. And now your host, as fly as a silk scarf on a summer breeze, it's Mateo and Jen. Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to the M and J Podcast.
Splattered against the wall.
Chores, splattered against the wall. Episode 3. We back, honey.
What? Yes, we are. Now, what is this all about?
I don't know. What is this all about? Why don't you tell us?
Maintaining the home together.
So let me say this much, because I wrote this down, and I figured it'd be worth sharing. But basically, it was originally going to be the title of this podcast, and then I thought to myself, I was like, nah, I don't think I want to call it that. But it was going to be Chores Helps My Errands Splattered Against the Wall.
Which is very long of a title.
Exactly. That's why it wasn't going to work. I was like, nah, it's not going to work. Chores, errands, all of it. But the reason for that title, Chores Helps My Errands Splattered Against the Wall, is because that's what life feels like every day.
It does.
It really does.
I mean, even errands.
Right. Everything, just your schedule, planning.
Everything seems like a chore.
Getting everything done through the day sometimes can be a task. Just getting to the end of the day is a miracle sometimes, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I think for many of us, I think we can relate. Nonetheless, I'm going to let you take the lead on this. What do we got today? What are we talking about? Lead the way, ma'am, miss,
so
lady,
between parents,
sweetheart,
what
beauty
is
queen,
it? What is it that they do?
pretty lady.
What is
They
it?
do a lot.
What is it you do?
Parents do a lot.
Okay, no.
Are you talking about personally?
Personally, you. What is it you do?
Personally, I make podcasts. That's about it.
But maintaining the home.
Maintaining the home. I installed Wi-Fi light bulbs when we moved in. True story. We have
Okay, and that was September of last year, or that was February.
Like 2 years ago.
February of last year.
Yeah, it was like years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're waiting for more input.
Okay, so I've been doing some research here because, I do have a notebook.
Yeah.
And it does state here that most of the statistics, I guess, that I've seen is for men, what they do is car maintenance is majority of what men do.
We love working on cars.
And yard work.
Yeah. Cutting the grass, it gets us away from the house. I'm kidding.
And then maybe fixing things around the house.
Yeah.
Things that break.
Yeah. No. Well, and the good thing is the good news is when you did that research, the same research you got out of that was the same information that I obtained. And now, mind you, we went through separate resources and we combined our information from what you gathered and from what I gathered.
Right.
And both of our inputs
about the same.
Were pretty in line. Yeah, they were really accurate to being similar. You are correct. Outdoor tasks was the one that came up on my list. Car maintenance, heavy lifting. Did you see that come across your table much?
I really didn't.
Okay. For some odd reason, there's this ideology that men should be doing the heavy lifting, moving furniture, carrying the groceries into the house.
To tell you the truth, okay, I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
put Dory and Kevin on the spot here.
Oh, that's okay.
My sister and my brother-in-law.
They can defend themselves later. Go ahead.
Dory will not carry groceries herself. She makes Kevin and little Kevin do it. So her husband
Take the
and
responsibility of it.
her
That's
son.
good. I like that. I like that a lot. You know why I like that a lot?
They do. They
You know
go and
why?
he will, but Kevin will not allow Dory to.
Do
He'll
you know
go out
why I
there
like
and
that a
they'll
lot?
help him.
Do you know why I like that a lot? Because that shows open communication in their relationship about getting things done in the house.
Right.
Straight up. You know what I mean? That was one of the big takeaways from all of this, through all of our research, was that it really does take. It takes two. And here's I'm going to throw in some.
Okay,
input.
but I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of men, and we know one Pacific. I'm not going to state that states a woman's job is to cook, to only do things in the house. Like, it's not our jobs to do anything else besides cooking and cleaning and feeding, serving men.
Well,
Again,
serving, I think, is different, though, right? Correct me on that, but I think that's a little different than saying, who can do what.
You have to, a woman's job is only in the kitchen, that's it. Nothing else.
I personally like to cook. So
So it's not only a woman's job.
Right. But it's also not my responsibility to go into that kitchen, cook a whole entire meal, and then leave an entire mess for my wife to clean up. Or for, let me say it politically correct, for my partner to clean up. Because now I'm taking what mess I created and said, well, you know, I spent all my time, all my hard work and effort making dinner, and now it's your responsibility to go ahead and clean. I don't agree with that.
Okay, but that's you. There has been people who do that. I mean, like if
Pompous.
okay, but like if you were to cook,
I digress.
like if you were to cook and make the dinner, the woman would go and clean.
No, I respect that. If you go in there in that kitchen and you clean up after my mess, I respect that. Yes, you do. and I try not to do that. One of my most important things is to clean up as you go,
which is what I do.
Not a mess to worry about.
Right, exactly.
But I don't know. I digress. Now, I want to throw some input on this because this was something that came up. I think about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I was sitting here. I think we had just got done with episode 2 of the podcast, and you were a little bit overwhelmed. You had a lot on your plate outside of just recording for a flippin' podcast. But you were like, okay, the only time you move is when you're being asked to do something. And then you continued and you said, sometimes she doesn't even want to bother. So you had mentioned to me, you were like, sometimes I don't even want to bother you because you're doing whatever you're doing. I don't feel like I need to tell you or ask you to do something in the house.
Like you should just know.
Right. And he always leaves his clothes behind everywhere. There's like always a breadcrumb trail everywhere with his clothes. And
I mean, that's the truth.
It is.
Because,
Honey, you're
I'm that up.
All right, I'll cut that out. Go ahead, continue.
Anyways, because there has been where I've done clothes, and you still tend to put your clothes in baskets, or you lay them just everywhere, and they accumulate
A pile of clothes. Right, yeah.
It aggravates me.
And all of those points led me to a question that I had to go research. And that question was, what can help a man's stubborn habits of reliance on a woman? And I'm going to say this in the more political, updated way, is what can help a partner's stubborn habits of reliance? Because what I'm talking about here is someone who relies on somebody else to take care of specific things.
And did you find any research on that?
Oh, I found, yeah. We're going to get into all of it. I think this whole entire episode really is encompassing to answering that question because I really did get my answers out of this. It was very useful and educational information. But at the same time, yes, I think, in my opinion, okay, from us men and women lives here, and I'm not trying to be like, what is it? Incorrect binary or gender, LGBT. I don't care what. I had plenty of gay bosses and they were amazing people. I'm not sitting here judging anybody. And if you're judging me, that's your problem. What can really help a man's stubborn habits of reliance on their partner? What can help somebody that relies on their partner so much that they expect these things? And I know that you mentioned a lot, like, I shouldn't have to ask. And we're gonna touch base on some of that here as well. I think I got bit by another mosquito.
Tommy did too, and his whole entire neck is swollen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, gotta love the summer.
All I know is, I mean, for the female side, okay, I read what women, like what men's is. Now, women's, what I've done was caring for children, serving the husband and the children, which that's biblical. In that format,
for us, we are religious.
We are Christians,
right? So we believe in that.
And then cooking meals, which is what women are getting kids, and then hold on, getting kids off to school.
I think what you're talking about is statistics, though. We're talking about statistically.
This is what I am. Yeah, statistically. This is what I've seen or what I've read
from what other families are enduring. Correct.
Or getting off to school.
Yeah.
Like kids off to school. Doing clothes, dishes. Now, in our household, I get kind of sick of it because it's always me that feeds and, gives our dog water, and it's always me that kind of lets our dog out.
Right.
This dog is not just mine.
Right. Yeah.
So that irks me. Especially when Mr. Mateo over here says he's always wanted a big dog.
Oh, man. Be careful what you ask for.
you don't.
Be careful what you ask for in life. Because sometimes you ask for things and then you get into it and you're like, I don't know if I should have done this. I don't know.
But he is a blessing.
He is a blessing. Beyond all measures, he's a blessing.
And he needs to get taken care of too.
But see, exactly.
Just like we do.
Exactly. There's one thing about just enjoying something that's in the house, like you enjoy something.
Right.
But then you just use it and abuse it, then you leave everybody else to maintain it. And it's not just pets.
Exactly.
Right.
Some of the research that you've looked up, what is it that you would like to discuss?
Well, okay, so...
And then can they see this?
No. This is kind of just my notes here, but kind of what... One of the things that stood out the most is and I'm going to get into this because I think it's really important, is that chores are not specifically gender...
It used to be, apparently. I've read a lot about that. Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
And some of my articles that I've done.
Yeah, we can jump into some of those. Let me close this real quick, and then let's jump into, because I originally, one of the things that, let's just talk about this right off the bat. Let's go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. And this is from Huffington Post or HuffPost. There's an article here. Women call out men for using weaponized incompetence to avoid household chores. I'm going to go ahead and let you take the lead on this because I know you enjoyed this article quite a bit.
Yes, I did. Dividing up chores between two cohabitating
partners. All you got to say
dividing
is
up chores between
two partners.
Right, or family. Like,
or two partners. That's it. Just be right to
It's
the
always
point.
a tricky situation, which is why the term weaponized incompetent has gained so much steam over the past few years. The term has become so popular on TikTok that the topic currently has over 148 million views.
I'm baffled by this. I'm literally surprised by this because I'm not one of these persons, but go ahead and continue.
I'm kind of going to skim through this.
Yes, please do.
The study found that while men do take on a few domestic responsibilities, they take their cues for older generations and pick up tasks that can be done on their own schedules, like cart maintenance and yard work.
So who's being, according to the study, that's what they're saying.
Huffington Post.
That's what they're claiming. Yes. So apparently I'm not supposed to cook.
I think it has a lot to do with our deeply held stereotypes and assumptions about traditional gender roles at home. They are quite difficult to challenge or break once set into motion. Some of these I've read and they're just crazy. Someone in my mentions was stunned that weaponized incompetent is a real thing. Understandable. This is a new term for an old behavior, but for fun, as a treat. How about we share our most absurd experiences
of weaponized I didn't listen. I've never weaponized
chores.
Chores.
Because that's pretty much what they're doing.
To the point of putting bleach in dark clothes, because I know that one's coming up on the list here.
Yep.
That just blows. Why would I want to ruin our clothes over just
because
the fact
you
that
don't
want to do
it.
something? You got to be absolutely. Listen, for any man that does that out there, your head is straight up your ass. I digress. Go ahead. Continue. Got to get it out there.
Okay, I asked my ex, a 40-year-old man who'd been living on his own for 20 years, if he'd boil some water in the kettle for me.
Yeah.
And he asked, how do I do that?
Oh,
to be
Lord.
clear, this was his house, his stove, and his kettle.
I mean, if you don't know how to boil water, I mean, did you graduate high school?
Right. Like,
Because
how do you not
that's
know how to boil
literally
water?
Basic stuff,
Especially in a
bro.
kettle. Like, do you not know what it
Basic.
called, like a teapot is?
It's so basic, bro.
Apparently he
Okay.
had it, though. It was his own.
All right, Kelly.
And then there's a disco. My husband, I don't know where to put the dishes away. It's confusing. Also, my husband, I know the location of all parts in my warehouse. My inventory is organized perfectly. And yet you don't know where dishes are stored?
Can I say something about this? Okay.
Because I know you're going to talk.
You know where I'm going with this.
I do.
This is obsessive compulsive disorder. For anyone who wants to know about it, I have very bad OCD. I literally, when we lived in our house like 4 years ago, 4 years ago.
He named our cabinet.
I labeled every cabinet with what was in the cabinets.
Yep.
Like we had friends
dishes,
and family.
you know, cups. And
No, but here's the thing, though. Friends and family would,
silverware.
yeah, friends and family would come over and they would look at us like we're crazy.
Yeah,
but
but
guess
they
what?
knew.
They knew where to find stuff. They never asked
They
the
knew
question.
exactly where
they
things
went in there.
were.
I'd hear cabinet doors and just things shuffling, and I'm like, good. They found what they needed.
Where did I have to ask?
Problem solved, brother.
Exactly.
Just saying.
And then this is from a what? A Rothan?
Ruth Ann. So
My ex, this is one
Ruth
that, you know,
Yeah.
my ex puts bleach in a dark load intentionally. When I asked why, he said, because I don't want to do laundry and you will never ask me again.
That's downright cold. Like if you stoop that
Why?
low, you need to get kicked in your.
That's what I'm saying.
That's downright low, bro.
What,
Like
what is that?
why put that kind of level of responsibility on someone so much that you coerce them to do something?
You ruined the
So
clothes.
basically your manhood is more important than your wife's feelings. Just saying, I'm going to say it straight out the way it is. I don't care whether you like it or not. Your manhood is clearly more important than your wife's feelings when you simply are going to put some bleach into a dark
Just
load
because you
and
don't wanna
ruin.
do 'em.
Yo, listen, if that was my husband, I'd. Never mind. I don't want to be on the FBI for killing somebody.
Oh, when we get this, watch that show because
Yo,
it's awesome.
it's been great. With
I'm telling you,
OA
Maggie and OA,
Maggie and OA.
if y'all see this, y'all should have been
Should have
hooking
been
up.
dating a long time ago. I know you guys aren't the ones that wrote the script, but still.
The person that
So we
wrote,
should
the
be yelling-
director should have wrote
Right,
you
we
guys
need to
dating.
yell at the writers.
So
but that's-
no.
no.
OA and Maggie,
That's
y'all are
intentional.
going to see this.
That's intentional to get your emotions that way.
Oh, I know.
You know they did that for that exact freaking reason.
All right, next one. Back on to track. Sorry, OA, Maggie. Love you guys. I watch you.
Sorry. Continue.
My ex tried to tell me he didn't know how to use bleach in the washing machine. Oh, well, maybe he needs to talk to the other dude above. I'm like, you put it in the hole next to the detergent that says bleach. He's a software architect that makes
six figures, and this guy can't figure out where bleach goes.
And it says
like
bleach.
literally, like you don't.
It
like, you
says
don't-
bleach even ours.
And who doesn't have a phone to check? Like literally look up the model and pull. I'm sure. Listen, if you just bought this washer and dryer, you have a manual sitting somewhere collecting dust.
Exactly.
Your head is up your.
I don't ever read the manuals.
Either way, even if you don't have the manual, it takes 5 seconds
again,
to
I
look at your
know.
washer and dryer and look it up online and find
Okay,
it.
but again, I
and
know
it
how
usually
to
says
do
it on there for Pete's sake. It says bleach. It's in English
But I do know how to do
in
it.
America, right? Bleach, right there, bleach. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ignorant doofus behind these freaking posts.
The men in my family can fix engines, computers, and do home repairs, but act like breaking down a box for recycling is impossible.
That one still surprises me too. I don't know who does not
What?
invest in a box cutter, but
Or that. My ex refused to ever wipe down surfaces, the kitchen counter after doing dishes, dusting the living room, cleaning the shower, toilets, etc. He claimed that my cleaning standards were too high, and he said he could never make me happy despite me telling him exactly
That's
what would.
narcissism. That's a narcissist. He wants her to do it, so he says, "Your standards are too high. I can't fit your shoes, boss. You got to do the work. You know it best. You've been doing it for years." That's what that is.
Okay, but a lot of people don't understand this, which it's kind of weird. It says the kitchen counter after doing dishes. Okay, so
Sorry, I'm trying to get us off of this. Go ahead.
So did he wash the kitchen counters and do the dishes? Because
Why does it keep opening up Twitter? Can we get out of this? I don't want this.
Okay,
Stop clicking on it.
you should always know that when you do dishes,
Yeah.
or you clean the counter, wiping down surface is always part of that. Cleaning the kitchen, you have to wipe down it.
In fact, we have a spray that's specifically for marble countertops.
Right.
For that reason, they sell it right there. It's in
Which
Walmart.
you have to
it's
wash
in
it out.
Kroger.
Okay, so
Myers.
no. I'm saying that if you were to put away dishes and you were to do this and that, is that the only thing you're going to do, or are you going to clean the whole kitchen and wipe down counters and make sure it's all clean?
I usually don't wipe down counters. I usually wipe down counters before I use it. But maybe I'm just doing it backwards because I see what you mean. I understand what you're saying though. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, either way, it needs to be wiped down before or after use.
Right.
But my thing is, I don't know if you wipe them down. I don't know who
Right.
wiped them down. So I always wipe down before and then I start dicing up.
Yeah.
But either way.
My ex refused to clean his bathroom, and when he moved out, the faucet wasn't working. And I learned he hadn't showered in at least 6 weeks and was just using baby wipes.
Oh my gosh. This reminds me of that.
6 weeks?
This reminds me of that TikTok that you showed me where she put
she put like little
marks to see whether or not he actually
used
grabbed the
them.
soap from the shower, like
And he
his soap.
didn't.
His soap, for crying out loud. And for someone not to use the soap and you go into a shower.
I think his mama need to teach him how to shower.
I mean, that's fine. If you think this is the Middle East and you don't believe in soaps, that's fine. If you're from some other,
okay, but water's not going to clean you.
I mean, it does to an extent. But here in America, we believe in
off.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Here in America, we believe in using artificial scents. SCENTS. We believe in using artificial scents. So if you come out of the shower and you smell like funk, you did not shower.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to put my son under the bus, but he's done that before.
I know.
And I told him to get back in there and freaking shower.
Right.
And he does.
Right.
He even goes,
Right.
But he does.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't understand where this laziness
I
comes
know how
from.
to wash my ash, and I'm not gonna my ash. You see, I said my ash. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, okay, Tommy, that's fine. You don't need to wash your ash either. No, you're gonna get your ash in there. You're gonna clean it the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I showered with him. I taught him. You taught him. Like,
Well, as a baby, yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah.
no, get out of here.
As a
You're not gonna
parent,
be
you
lazy.
go through that process
Again,
and-
this is about being lazy.
Right.
We're lazy.
Right.
People nowadays are freaking lazy that they don't do anything.
This pisses you off, don't it? It pisses me
does.
off. Makes me want to talk about it on a podcast.
Which is
we should
what-
consider that.
We should.
Wait a minute.
I would ask my ex to handle dinner for us on days where I worked 3 or more of my 5
That
jobs.
I respect her
jobs,
for that. Right.
5?
You should. I don't
He
know
would
what to-
typically either 1, ask me to list the things we have available to make in the house, or 2, order out and get me to pay for my half.
Okay, I want to say 2 things about that list because there's and this is my opinion. I don't care what anybody else says. For first off, the fact that he asked to list the things we had available to make in the house, you don't need to ask.
Dude,
just go in there and
the
check.
house, right?
Okay, but in some cases, I have gone to you and asked, "Hey,
Do we have this? Do we have that?
right.
Yeah.
It's a lot quicker for me to go to you and inquire about something, and then you have a hint on what I'm making. So then you can then interject and say, I don't want what you're making. Or you can say, that's fine.
Okay.
Stop clicking on
I know, but I.
And then
you know what,
secondly, secondly.
no. Okay, but what I don't, I'm doing for secondly. What I don't understand is, if you are in a relationship, you know where I'm going with this.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. If you are in a freaking relationship, money asking
Yes, I do
for
know where
your
you're going with this.
half. I'm
Right.
sorry, no.
No.
It's either
Right.
you pay for me,
Right.
or that's it, or I don't eat.
Stop asking me to pay back for your life that we're sharing together.
Exactly.
And that's a permanent dedication.
And I'm sorry, there are going to be people in my family that's going to hate me for
I don't
this.
give a I don't
Okay,
give a
but when
I
you're
don't have my
married,
filter.
when you are married, when you are married, it's not his half,
No,
her half.
it's together.
Our half.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
ours
right,
together.
right. You can budget
There-
all you want
there's
separate.
No,
It ain't
no.
gonna change
Oh
anything.
man, can you get this for me and I'll pay you back? I'll spot you next.
Why
time.
does that? How does that help? What is that helping?
Okay, do you have 2 bank accounts?
Right.
Do you have your own bank and she has her own bank? Because guess what? I don't. I have my own bank.
Well, I
Like,
just
we
don't
have our banks
understand.
together.
I don't understand how separating a budget helps anybody.
It doesn't.
Because you're taking now you have unanswered questions. Where did this go? Where did that go? Even if you don't have unanswered questions, you still have to borrow from from the person you live with? What is that? Oh, I'll pay you back next Friday. Why? We could just do it together and then it doesn't matter. You take your income, you take my income, you put them together, they work together just fine.
Okay,
Sorry, you need to continue because we're 25 minutes in and we don't have a lot of time.
Okay, you and I,
Yeah.
when I wasn't even working, I had a bank with you. I wasn't working.
Right.
I was not making an income.
And then when I stopped working and then you were working full time, we
it
still
was
had the
always
same
our
bank
money,
together.
right? And it was our
Right,
our money.
right.
It wasn't my money because I was working.
No.
It was our money.
No, If I spent my own money, I came to you and I asked, honey.
Right.
Because
No,
if I
actually,
don't,
no matter what, even if you made your own money, you still came to me.
listen,
Do
I
we
don't.
have this?
No, yeah. Because first off, listen, I don't want to die. I don't know how many of you are that suicidal, but I don't want to die. I'm not going to go purchase something without your permission, and then I got to deal with the repercussions after the fact. Because more likely than not, you're going to say yes anyway. Even if it leads to an argument, you're still going to be like, honey, just go get it anyway. So
It has happened.
right. You learn from this, and then you don't have to worry about the little minute little things that tick people off for no good reason.
Right. All right, let's get into it. I asked my wife to clean the TV stand.
Oh, my ex.
Oh, I asked
This
my ex
this one's done for. This one's already hit the
to
chopping
clean
block.
the TV stand, TV, like dust.
The dust, yeah.
Showed him what to use. I
dust,
look
okay.
over, and he's using the wrong thing on the
What?
TV screen, which could do damage. I say something. He says, well, if I can't do it your way, I guess I just won't do it anymore since I can't do anything right.
What is it? What? Okay, so what? Huh?
Apparently, he was using the wrong thing when she specifically told him what to use.
Okay, but what do him or her or whoever this is know? Specifically, whatever they were using
Is wrong.
was wrong and could cause damage. Because I've used Windex on LCD displays.
I mean, I've even used paper or toilet paper towel on
Right, right.
TVs. and-
Screens are way more resilient.
than-
No. They're not delicate. They're way more resilient than people think or believe.
I mean, I know, but would you use?
You know how many people have these big TVs with babies running around with sharp objects and other scary stuff? The TV's got to be willing to take a certain amount of brutality. And there's so many layers, and I'm not going to get into it as I'm being technical.
Don't know what brand we buy. Turns down every request to go grocery shopping together. Somehow eats most of the food before I got a bite, but doesn't remember any of the packaging enough to pick it up. Wow.
I think they need some help from our mid-roll. We're going to get to that.
Yeah, actually, there's only a couple more, so.
Okay. I hope you guys love the links, because let me tell you,
right.
we only have 4,000 characters available in a podcast post. So you guys better appreciate the information
links,
we
right.
provide, because it's wasting our space.
All right, so this on the Huff post would be the last post of this, but if you want to reread it, you can see it in the link. My dad is 73 and claims not to know how to run the washing machine.
Okay, but you got to be a little delicate. So that's someone who's old.
I mean, yeah, but honey, 73 of living, 73 years of living, and you still don't know how to run a washing
Okay, but can I say this
machine?
much to the kids that have been born into a house that got washer and dryer like our kids? I was born into a house. I don't even know what a washer and dryer was.
I mean, yeah.
The washer and dryer was a laundromat. So, I mean, in this case, I kind of don't like this, because for somebody who's 73, maybe they're looking for some sort of connection. Maybe they're looking for some hand-holding or some help, and that's the reason why they're having a struggle with something as a washer. And let me tell you, these washer and dryers nowadays have like 30 different options on them.
Right.
You got colors, you got black and white, you got delicates, you got cotton. It's got literally every fabric that you can think of. So I got to sit here and look at my clothes like, is this cotton?
I mean, yeah, because
Is this polyester?
Yes, well, that's why they have a name.
Is this
Hello,
washer
that's why
safe?
they have a tag,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and it states
So
how
if you
to
have
wash
so
it.
bless the heart of that loving dad, the 73-year-old trying to get the washer and dryer started for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's just his clothes. I don't know.
Okay, well, this is the end of this post, and
I
we're just
digress.
gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on a tandem today. I apologize. Women still handle main household tasks in the U.S. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
So this is scientific. These are actually percentage.
And this is from Gallup, another reputable source.
Women mainly responsible for laundry, 58%.
It's statistically 58%. Yeah.
Cleaning and cooking, which
51.
is 51% for women. And then men take lead on keeping car in order, which is what I mentioned.
69%. Yeah.
And then doing yard work,
59%.
which is the two that I listed.
Right.
And then about,
That's really close to split down the middle, right?
right.
I mean, those
yeah.
percentages, to me,
Okay,
is
but to be
kind of
honest,
impressive.
can you give me yard work and I'll switch you laundry? I mean, to be honest, I don't mind lawn mowing. I don't mind
But now we're
planting
spoiled.
flowers.
We're
I don't
spoiled
mind
now.
doing all yard work.
I know, but we're spoiled. We live in an apartment, so they
Okay,
do
but
the yard work
I don't
for us.
care. Hello, if we were in our own house, I
Right.
would plant
Yeah.
flowers.
That would be nice. That would
I
be
would
nice.
plant
That would be
flowers. I would lawn mow. If you could take laundry, because right now it is 1:50 in the morning, and we have a pile of clothes on our bed before we go to
that
sleep.
need to be maintained, and they're not getting done tonight. It's too late for that. It's too late for that. All I'm worried about is getting this podcast over and going to sleep.
Not you. I'm playing a game.
Oh, okay. Some free time, some leisure time,
Because
and
I
then going to
worked.
bed. Right.
And yes, I kind of made. I kind of went out and I didn't make dinner.
No,
worked.
that's right. That no one says it's a crime to go
It's
buy
not.
dinner.
It's not. But
It's not a crime.
again, let's
It's not a
get to
crime.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do like these scientists, rows
this is- I
of
like
men
this.
and
I
women
like-
in the U.S.
Okay.
household.
This I like. I like charts like this.
All
What
right,
we
go
got?
ahead.
Let's take a look at this. We got women more likely, and then man more likely in the light green. You
And
see
then-
that, men?
and
You
hold
see
on.
that?
Yeah.
You guys are in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Okay.
You guys
No,
are in trouble.
no, they're not, because gray is both. So men
that's a valid
help.
point. That's a valid point.
So both equally, is 33% would make decisions about furniture and decorations. But majority of it is 62% is women do that.
Yeah, I don't really have much interest in that. I mean,
Right.
not that I wouldn't.
But you
I
do
would- I
help,
would-
which is
I'm okay with it.
33%, you know.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but
We're gonna have
Laundry?
to. Yeah, but we're gonna have to go through this a little bit more
yeah, because
because.
we're already 32 minutes in.
But we'll link this.
We will link with all of these articles are always linked.
But I mean, if you guys not
Sources
notice
cited.
here where it says keep the car in good condition, do you not see it's mostly men?
Yeah.
It seems like yard work
Yeah.
is predominantly men.
Yeah, make decisions about savings or investments. That's all over the place.
That's kind of like 18, 31, and
women.
then 50.
That
for
needs to
both.
be more. Okay.
That needs to be more both.
That needs to be
equally.
both.
Right.
Like, well, I guess it kind of is.
it says
Well, no,
50.
I mean it's 31%. We're saying that men
Are a
take
little bit-
more time
Okay,
into
but-
the decisions of and savings and investments over women.
Can I state
Yeah, go ahead.
you still are, and you have been,
On what? Investments?
and savings
Yeah.
and financial.
Well, that's because I'm getting older.
No, but financial. Ever since we started being together, you were making like bills and sheets and stuff for us to finance.
I think that falls under the
So-
paid bills category, though, right? Because that's
Okay,
pretty
but
split.
see-
That's pretty split. That's what we want to see as a 30-30-30.
But again, you on our half has always been that with
Yeah.
paying bills, and
Yeah.
you've been the one that's been main that.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
decisions and savings, we really haven't had much of that. to be able
No,
to
but
do.
and like I said, I think some of that comes as you age because investments and savings really becomes a bigger conversation the older you get.
Right.
You know.
But if you guys notice, like prepare meals, it's again predominantly women.
Yeah. You can't highlight. Stop moving the image.
I know. Ugh. Tell me about it. All right, we're gonna keep going on this. And it says here, in addition to laundry, cleaning, and cooking, women are the primary decision makers when it comes to home decor in 62% of households.
Yeah.
Although there is more,
Equity and some of the other tasks.
women are also much more likely than their husbands to care for children on a daily basis, shop for groceries, and wash dishes.
Okay, I agree with this. According to these statistics, I wholeheartedly agree with this because, like, one of the things with our kids, like, you'll make sure their lunch is packed.
Oh, right.
You'll make sure that they got their backpack, they got their books in their backpack, they got what they need. Me, I don't worry about that.
You're just like, all right, you guys got to go to school.
Yeah, I'm just
I
like,
love you.
I'm
Bye.
like, no. The only things I'm worried about is, did you brush your teeth?
Right.
Are you smelling good? It's time to go. You know, like those.
Yeah.
As
I mean,
a dad,
that's true
that's
because,
like the
you
only.
know, we wake the children up. We get them, you know,
I think dads
women
just
get
so
them.
hurried. Yeah,
You know,
rush.
women normally get the kids ready.
the more important stuff.
You know,
Really the
cooking, like
important
feeding
aspects.
them
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
yeah.
The emotional, the emotion, and we were just talking about this just a little bit about before we went live. Was that I feel like men have a hard time with translating their emotions, whereas women are more confident in it. Like,
Right.
they have the emotions are just more intact, whereas men, we're just all over the place. I don't know.
I want to continue, but not on this one. We're going to go to the age appropriate ones. But again, we will link this. There is a lot of information here.
Really good information.
There is.
Some of it shouldn't come as a surprise. And if you're being judgmental on this information, then change your life. It really doesn't matter to us.
True. We're just here telling you.
We're just here echoing out what we observations of the world, and then based on what we and I'm not going to lie about my experience. Why would I, or why should I?
Right. Exactly. This I want to do as like an age appropriate, like what's right, because it's not just the husband and the wives, that do chores. It's supposed to be kids too. Like as 100%. They get older, you need to show them responsibility.
They got plenty of their bones, their motor functions. Everything is operational in a child's body.
Yep.
If they're reliant on their mother or their dad, that's fine.
There is something here.
But there's no reason why they shouldn't be doing stuff that needs to be their own responsibility.
Right. We will link this also.
Yeah.
Because it says divide and
conquer the household chores. And we got some stuff that's going to help you guys for this. If you're somebody out there listening to this and you're like, this podcast is not helping me. You guys are making me stressed. We are not in the business to make anyone stressed.
No.
Quite contrary, the opposite. We have some advice that's going to come up on the mid-roll. But I'll let you finish this article, and then we might jump to the mid-roll, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay. Now, this one is just... I kind of want to skip all of this. Here it states allowance for chores. You should not give...
Or based on their age?
No. You shouldn't give them allowance at all, because... No. Yep.
Okay.
Should your child get an allowance for chores? Usually not.
Interesting.
Says most parenting experts. Chores are partly about responsibility and partly about learning household tasks.
Okay.
They're not focused on earning money. Yes, kids need to learn how to handle money, but not by doing chores they're supposed to do anyway.
Oh, that's a valid point. That's very good. Okay,
yes.
That makes sense.
It's especially important to not tie allowances to chores for younger kids.
Yeah.
Pantley says that's because a younger child may be less motivated by money and simply choose not to do them.
Especially if it's a child that's already got everything they need.
There's an exception. For older kids who already know how to be responsible, money can become a nice motivator for doing extra chores above and beyond their usual task. And then Faye suggests is letting them bid on those extra chores and picking the lowest bid.
Okay, so I want to jump into this real quick because this is one of the ones that made me laugh earlier today. We were talking about this off air. Make chores fun.
Yes.
I don't care if, and I'm serious, this isn't a joke. I'm not joking. If you need to draw straws or rock, paper, scissors that do it, bro. Just like it makes it so much easier.
Well, that's why but that's also...
And it's hilarious too, right? Because then you get to...
right.
And then when your kids do it, they're going to get upset with each other.
Because when they get the shortest one, they're going to be like, oh, man, it's always me.
And you get to laugh at that as a parent.
Right.
You should take that in, soak that in.
But another thing is like they state that in order to get a kid to eat the food, proper food that they should be doing like different designs.
Oh, shapes you've done like pancakes in the shape of a heart.
Right. Like something that engages them. So doing that, like drawing sticks would engage the kids when they're younger.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that could even go into...
And this is what I really wanted. Age-appropriate chores for children. So chores for children ages 2 to 3. They could put toys away.
Okay, so the question is if a child is 2 to 3 years old and they're not putting their toys away, is there a concern? Or is that just laziness? Or is that from the parents?
And it could be the parents not really...
It could be a variety of all of them.
Like doing it, or this could also be an age that could possibly...
So maybe
parents, maybe a child has a health problem.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And like if they're not able to,
do those standards,
then you need to look into a doctor.
Point.
Like you need because this is actually from like WebMD. This is doctors.
Okay, but
this is hold on. No, this is Web.
At 2-3 years.
I guess could.
I guess I could see it if but you have to entertain that as a parent.
Right.
Like you have to have fun with your child doing that.
Which is why
together.
drawing sticks.
Or just doing it with your child. Like
Helping them.
Something as simple as like filling the pet's food dish.
Or put clothes in a hamper, like make it fun, like throw it, like toss it, like make it into like it's a boy basket.
Yeah, like for pointers for the basket, yeah.
Or wipe up spills. Like if they drop something, tell them to go get a napkin, and wipe it up. Dust, our duster.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Pile books and magazines. Like they're able to pick up their books and stack them. This is
I
chores.
like that because a lot of what they're saying from that 2 to 3 is like just organization of simple tasks. Okay, I'm sorry, we got to hustle, but yeah, go ahead.
Yep, and then children, make beds for 4 to 5, empty waste baskets, bring in mail. Like they can go to the mailbox, open it.
Yeah.
Depends on where the mailbox is actually, because my kid at 4 or 5, I would not. I'm in an apartment.
Okay,
I would
pull
not.
Weeds.
Okay, now
that's pushing it. Okay, listen, WebMD, y'all.
Okay, but hold on. No. But were they raised in a farm? I mean, you have to understand.
I suppose
where these children, how their parents are, who their parents are,
because pulling weeds is not easy sometimes. If those weeds are really rooted.
There's also been 4 to 5 years old that would go in and pick up horse manure because they have horses.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying like pulling weeds, you got to use your muscle on that sometimes. Like, have you pulled? When's the last time you pulled weeds?
I haven't.
Seriously?
I've never pulled.
You've never pulled weeds?
Never.
Yo, they're annoying as hell, especially if the roots are really rooted in deep.
I've never.
Like you could pull it, right? But now you just left the root along with the whatever it is that keeps it. It's gonna grow back. Like, you have to like shovel this.
Okay, unload utensils from dishwasher. I can understand that, but hold on. No, my children are 13.
Okay. This article's already starting off bad.
My children are 13 and 11, and they hate doing silverware.
Okay, but listen, I don't know if I would give a 4 to 5 year old. We own
Especially
Chicago
knives.
cutlery knives. No, okay, that's right. What you had?
I cut myself. Like I.
That was wrong finger.
Even with.
Can you put your middle finger? I gotta blur that out. No,
sorry.
I'm kidding.
Sorry, like even with, like I can even show the video. Like I cut myself. I would not allow my 4 to 5 year olds to put away our knives.
But maybe you should, right? Because maybe that's.
it could
teaching them that responsibility. It just might be me.
Okay, well, my mother has always called me accident prone.
Right, but
I've always ended up somehow hurting myself.
I don't know. I guess if you have doubt, just don't do it. Like,
okay, I'm gonna skip to my children because I'm gonna let you know that they don't do crap. So, chores for children 10 and older. My daughter's 13. My son is 11.
Yeah.
Unload the dishwasher. Oh, they give me hell when I ask them to do that. They will never in their life fold laundry.
You don't think ever in their life?
I mean, as of right now,
I barely even fold laundry, let alone our kids.
And you're exactly clean bathroom? No.
Okay, listen, that needs to stop because there's too many lazy people. I've gone into too many houses with people that don't take care of their bathrooms, and I'm serious. I'm not kidding.
Okay, but to tell you the truth,
annoying.
Okay, but that is one thing that I've always done. Okay, we might have a bed full of freaking laundry, but my bathrooms,
dude, our porcelain is a throne.
My bathrooms and my kitchen has always been clean.
Right. It irks me to go, and that's the term my pastor taught me. It irks me to go into somebody's bathroom and it's a mess because I'm like, bro, this should be one of the most sanitary places besides the kitchen. Between the kitchen and the bathroom, those should be the most sanitary places.
Okay, to tell you the truth, so I work part-time at our church. You know that. I work part-time
and you clean a lot
church.
of bathrooms.
I clean a lot of bathrooms, but
men are slobs.
There has been some bathrooms where the cleaners...
Men are pigs.
Hold on, that the cleaners before me does not do a good job.
Right.
Like I looked and I was like, oh my goodness, who has cleaned this bathroom before I worked there?
And men need to, boys need to have aiming practice.
Oh my goodness, I've walked in there and
they need aiming practice.
Pee has been on the handle.
Like I don't know.
How can you pee on a handle from a urinal?
That's what I'm saying. Look, listen, I don't know if you guys are watching the podcast on video, I don't know if you kids from your dads are peeing like this. Because I don't know how you miss a urinal stall. I don't.
It's on the handles.
I'm getting sued for this. I don't understand how you miss a urinal stall, bro. It's a matter of you just whip your...
Right.
Didn't let me.
But it's on.
You whip your
okay,
out, and then you aim for the thing that's blue, yellow, green that usually had like the pads, those things that the place like that.
The blue pads. Like they're in there. I showed you today. It had a blue pad in the urinal.
Right.
But how do you get it on the handle?
That I don't know.
Okay,
that I don't know.
The urinal's down here. The urinal's down here, but the handle is up here. Like, how does that?
Really? It's gotten that bad?
Yes.
Oh my Lord. I don't know.
Okay, we have to. I'm sorry.
We're running short on time. We got to run our mid roll.
Okay. Yes.
She's too worked up, and I can't work her down. So we're gonna jump to a mid roll so she can catch a little breather. We'll be right back, y'all.
So you're sitting at home. Laundry needs to be washed or put away. Your baby's running around in diapers. You misplaced your car keys, and you're all out of dish liquid. Where to even begin? Mateo and Jen have got the recommendation for you. It's a free app called Cozy. Cozy's core function is a shared calendar that allows everyone in the family to see what's going on. With Cozy, family members can communicate with each other about upcoming events and schedule changes. They also provide you with to-do lists and shopping lists that can be shared by the entire family. You can store and share family recipes. Cozy is also a good way to start that savings account for the little ones at home, or track more closely the chores for your children's allowance. You can't miss out on free stuff like this, especially when all it takes is a simple download of an application that can put you on track to cleaning up your daily life messes. Mateo and Jen don't do it, so here's your chance to start something great. Don't be lazy like them. Do what's best and what's right for your fam at home. Make it easier on yourself. I know what you're thinking.
But Carlos, I'm co-parenting. This isn't going to work, Mr. Lamb Chops.
See, now you are just being lazier than Mateo and Jen. Check out the app called Our Family Wizard. Cozy is great for families that are stuck together. For you co-parents out there that need some individual love, check out Our Family Wizard, similar to Cozy, but here to keep that lazy man or woman that you left for the streets organized along with you. Parenting isn't easy alone, so don't do it alone. Check out Our Family Wizard today, available on the App Store for both Android and iPhone. That's all I got for now. Back to you, Mateo and Jen.
Oh, really, Carlos?
Man,
you really have to say that we're
Carlos
lazy?
buried us like that, calling us lazy. Listen,
Really?
we're just telling the truths.
I mean, yeah, we don't do Cozy,
No, but I will say this, because like for us, we use like reminders like on the Apple iPhone and use a lot of the the calendar that's built into the phone. But what's cool about something like Cozy is it takes all of these tools and instruments and it puts it in a user-friendly way, not just for the parents, but more importantly for the kids.
And what's good about that is the kids have green cards, so they now have green light.
Well, yeah, if you get green cards, that's funny. Yeah, green light. Yeah, our kids have green cards.
I mean, they are
and I'm
part
Hispanic, so I take a lot to that.
They are
No, I'm
part,
kidding,
Puerto Rican, but
no, but the sense of having
Yes.
a green light card is nice.
It is.
But you just read that
It's not good.
creating an
for-
allowance
yeah.
might be a risk too. So that's interesting.
To tell you the truth, though, we have been trying our hardest to get the kids in an allowance. Now that I read that, I don't know if I'm going to give them an allowance.
Considering we already have savings accounts set up for them,
Right.
that are empty, but we need to work on that. I'd rather focus on investments for our children,
Right, instead of giving them an allowance. I'm sorry, they don't even do dishes.
Right.
I don't think they're ever going to.
Right. For you parents out there in the future, stop trying to like force a whole lot of stuff onto your kids.
Right.
Just let them live their lives.
Let them be kids,
And-
man,
yeah.
until they're able to get a job at the age
Right.
of 15, 16. Let them be freaking
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
I grew up way too fast. I dropped out of school and I should not have. At the age of 36 years old, I am now trying to get my life back on track, and it's hard, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Do not let your children grow up more than what they actually have to be.
I agree with that. 100%. I agree with that.
So I'm sorry, giving them allowance. It can be fun. It could be fun, but also they don't need it.
Yeah.
They don't. The kids get anything and everything that they should need and want from their parents.
For the most, yeah. Yep.
Until they get a job.
Right.
Until they want
Yeah.
more.
I mean, that's at least what you should be teaching them, because otherwise you're spoiling your kids. I don't care what class you're at. I don't care if you're a millionaire.
Exactly.
gonna have to filter this.
But if you're a millionaire, your children are going to not want for anything, and they need to.
They should.
They should.
Yeah. Let me jump back down to track here. So a couple things that I know you kind of threw me under the bus now. So I just wanted to cover a couple things here. And I do want to kind of circle back to one of the articles here that you had that was really your last article here that from the research you did, which was how to keep housework from hurting your marriage. I think that's so important. And one thing I did want to share with you guys, this was something on a tandem, but it's related. I discovered this website. It's called A Prioritized Marriage. Our goal is that I do want to get some individuals on the podcast to talk about their experiences of what they've gone through in their lives. Because one of the things I think that we have a lack of is a lack of communication. And there's an old movie, I don't know if you remember, is it Chore-sharing Redemption? It's one of those like escape from prison movies. And the guy towards, I think like 3/4 in the movie, he says, what we have here is a failure to communicate. And then he gets shot. The poor man gets shot. But it was a situation. I don't remember the whole story behind it. That's all I remember. Maybe I'm philosophically remembering this wrong. But the situation at hand was that there's this lack of communication. And one of my big notes that I like, one of the things that if I could like double highlight it, was that. So I went over some information because one of the things is that you did a lot of research on this, more so than I. Like you spent a lot of time on this. I did. Like you were humbly working on this, 100%.
And there is another thing here with me being, with us being Christian. I do want to.
You wanted to share
I do. It's a scripture that's in the Bible, and it's 1 Peter 3:7, and it states, "Husbands should be considerate and respectful of their wives, and that chores should be a shared responsibility."
100%.
Not just based on the woman.
Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of us need to take away from that. We need to take away from that the goods, the positives that we truly do need to help each other. One of the things that I enjoy is when you're not here, I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, doing whatever, and I sit there and our kids are doing their thing in their bedrooms. They're just living their lives. Though. Well, that's whatever. But they're doing their lives, right? They're doing their thing. I'm sitting there as a dad. I'm sitting there and I'm cooking. And part of this, when you're sitting there as a parent, you're sitting there and you're doing this responsibility. It weighs heavy on your shoulders. You're like, does anyone really care? And I'm sure you go through that feeling a lot when you're sitting there doing that. And I just want to, I want to welcome any man out there that's not in the kitchen cooking. I want to welcome you to this challenge. Get in the kitchen just for an opportunity to not only serve your wife or partner. This goes either way. If you're someone who does not cook, if you're on the opposite side where you don't spend time in the kitchen, I'm asking you to just take an opportunity to take out a chance to cook for your partner. And cook for whoever else is in your household or whoever else is around you. And even if they don't appreciate what you cooked, that part is what I would call just learning, because it takes a lot.
Oh, okay. I can tell you something right now.
For seasoning and taste.
Okay, so my dad has always been good with biscuits and gravy.
You slaughtered that.
I slaughtered that. I slaughtered that. And it got to the point where we had a friend that actually stayed with us.
And he force-fed
himself. That was loving it.
He force-fed himself.
Because he didn't want to feel so freaking bad. He did not want to tell me it was nasty.
I know, right? Right. And this is why open communication is so important.
I tried to do it.
Right.
And you told me, you was like, honey, this is, you need to push the button.
No.
Like, you like, honey, this is like, and I was like, you know what? It kind of is.
Who am I to lie to someone who said like you were like, try it out, right? As the cook, you try it out yourself, and you're like, this is bad.
I did say it was nasty.
That's an indication, and I'm not saying like to go out criticizing people. I'm not saying to try to be like the best judge. We're not judges on a cooking show, but
I'm not a chef. But if something that I make is not good, please let me know.
Be open and transparent about it.
I don't want you to be like the friend of ours,
transparent about it. And try to favorize somebody.
Like I seen his face and I knew it. I was like, that's nasty.
Right, like you're chewing your jaw way slower than you ate the steak last night.
Exactly.
So don't sit here and fake. because
And then he told me, he told you, yeah, I really didn't want to say anything, but this is kind of nasty.
Yeah, I did.
Speak up.
Right. Speak up. Communication is key. And you don't have to do it in a rudeful way. You can be like, listen, I appreciate your help. I appreciate
this is nasty.
This would have been amazing. Like I've had it, and like, but as the cook, you shouldn't take that bad either. I've had bad cooks.
Okay,
I've cooked stuff that like I've served to you and the kids, and y'all were like, what were you thinking? It's like, this is terrible.
I know.
Like, this is disgusting.
Don't. Like, yeah.
Right. But nonetheless, there was a website that I came across. I wanted to recommend it to anyone else out there that's looking to find advice or help. It's called Prioritize Marriage.
And it seems, I actually, when he told me about this, I was like, ooh, I want to kind of read this.
Through some of the stuff
but
on there.
It says start here, it has about intimacy.
I started with intimacy. I'm just going to be honest. I'm a guy, so the first thing I clicked on was intimacy, and I was like, okay, how many times are people having sex per week? I wanted to learn the goody stuff, but there's a lot more than outside of intimacy. There's a lot of useful information for your relationship.
which is key.
Yeah.
For it.
Right.
And then here is like their love story, them too.
About them, yeah.
And then she got a vlog.
They've got their own podcasts and blogs on here. Really useful information.
Here it says adventure challenge, so they'll give you actually an adventure.
Yeah, there's some resources. There's some really cool stuff on their site. I don't know who this lady is. I came across this today. I just wanted to share it with everybody else.
What is the adventure challenge? Research studies
in
have
bed,
been,
couples edition, and dinner dates. That's pretty cool. A lot of cool stuff, and she's certified. So I recommend it for those of you if you're looking for some little extra advice in your relationships. Right, prioritizemarriage.com. It will be in the description and information of this podcast. From there, I just wanted to kind of add some last tidbits into this. Communication and teamwork is key. Discuss and delegate. But you got to be kind about it. Be open, be heartful. Be open to new systems. Like I said, Cozy, it's spelled Cozi. It's a great app for families out there that are together. And if you're co-parenting, what was the other one? Our Family Wizard. Our Family Wizard, Our Family Wizard. It's another app that's available on Apple and Android, but it's specifically for parents that are co-parenting. So if you're somebody who you're not living with that other partner, you guys still need to work together for those babies. Please.
Co-parenting is an important part of them children.
And we have a lot of friends that are co-parenting.
We do.
And they're amazing people. And their babies, their children are amazing people. I treat them like my own nieces, my own nephews, my own children, because they're so beautiful. Aside from that, sharing the load mentally and physically, offer specific help. One of the things you said was that you are irritated with the fact of asking for help on things, and a lot of times I think
because for one, it's not my responsibility. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Can you help me with the dishes?" Or "Can you help me with this?"
Yep.
Because I'm not the one that dirtied all the dishes.
And there's a way around that. Offer specific help. I'm sorry to cut you off. We got 1 minute left. Offer specific help. Instead of a vague, what can I do? Ask, what can I do to help you?
And then the last but not least is appreciation and recognition.
All it takes is a thank you.
Yes.
A simple thank you. I appreciate what you do. And earlier, just a moment ago, you took my plate from dinner and you washed it off. And when I handed it to you, I said thank you, because that's all I had.
Right.
That's all I got. Yep. That's all we have. We appreciate all you guys for listening, tuning in. Do. We hope this information is valuable and useful. Man, do you have anything else to say?
No, besides what the moral
Ready
of the
for the
story
moral
is.
Story? All right, let's go ahead and run it. Let's go to the closure here. The moral of the story is:
everyone who lives in a home needs to keep it a home.
Clean up after yourself. That's the most important thing, guys.
Amen on that.
All right, until next time.
We'll see you in the next one.
Take care, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into M&J's World Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. You can find our podcast on both iTunes and Spotify. If you'd like to see our video podcasts, visit M&J's World on YouTube Podcasts today. New episode out every Friday. If you have questions, comments, or ideas for the show, please email us at mnjpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's mnjpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, have a great day.